fibroids is something um, that is very common in the African American community amongst African American women. I am one who have who was told I had fibroids. At one point shrink them. Then I had my son, and when I had my C-section, they clearly were like, "No, they're still there, but we can't take them out because that's not what you're here for." Um, and Danje as well. So, Danje, you've gone through surgeries before,
hmm
correct?
Well, I did. I had a mammectomy. Unfortunately, I
Mm-hmm.
did not want it. But I also did not have any symptoms of fibroids either. Well, I take that back. My periods were normal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't have any other symptom except my stomach looked like I was 4 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost weight. I went to the gym, like 2020 hit, and everyone was like, "Oh, you know what? While we're inside, let's work out."
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that I was just gaining weight, because I'm just getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, eating tacos every Tuesday. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and lose weight while you know we're not doing anything. So
Mm-hmm.
I started, I had
I remember you going to the gym. I
yeah,
remember all of that. Yeah.
yeah, I had a trainer, and I started working out every morning, running a mile. Like I would run a mile a day, maybe two, and I lost weight. I went from 170 to 145,
Mm-hmm.
and I was skinny, skinny. But my stomach was still there. My
Mm-hmm.
trainer was like, "What's going on with your stomach?" And I was like, "I have fibroids. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's why I'm, because I went to the doctor and they said that my fibroids were fine, that there was nothing to worry about." And he was just like, "Well, yeah, your stomach is pooching out." So I decided to go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they said that the fibroids have grown. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well, a couple years ago, you said I was fine, and now they're big." Um,
How big were how like what was the size that they compared it to?
mm, Grapefruit.
Okay, did they tell you how many you had at that time? Or
At the time, they said I had four.
wow. Okay.
So, but then I decided to try to heal naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Just start eating vegetable, just
Mm-hmm.
go vegan.
Same. I did the same thing.
And
Yep.
because I remember you told me you stopped eating cheese,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
I
stopped
love.
eating meat. I did vegan. I went vegan for maybe like 5 or 6 months, and then when I went back, the doctor told me that I shrunk them
Hmm.
some way somehow.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, I did that. And then between that time, I kind of still teeter tottered between being vegan and veganish,
Hmm.
And then when I had my son, they went back and said they're probably about the size of like golf balls, I guess. But I think she said I had like one or two, but
Hmm.
I haven't had any cycle issues or painful cycles or
Hmm.
anything like that. And I'm pretty active in the gym too,
Hmm.
and I'm thinking that. And now you're making me think, to look deeper into it because I have my little stomach situation, but I'm thinking it's because I had a C-section and that whole nine, but it might be towards something else.
Well, with me too, because like when I decided to go vegan, I knew that eating healthy can help because I also had ovarian cysts in my
Mm-hmm.
30s, and I did
Mm-hmm.
have those shrunk. The crazy thing is about let me go back to the ovarian cyst real quick. I had the cyst. I was told that I had to have surgery. I started eating healthy and I started shrinking the cyst. And the doctor, before I was going into surgery, she was like, "Oh, your cysts have shrunk." I didn't know that they were shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
I just decided to eat healthy, and it's like, "Oh, the cysts have shrunk, but we're gonna do the surgery anyway." I was like, "Wait a minute, if they're
Yeah.
shrinking, let me just keep eating healthier." And
Right.
they was like,
Right.
"No, no, no, you're here now, so we're gonna do surgery." So fast forward 10 years later,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm saying, well, if I can shrink the cysts, I can probably shrink the fibroids too. And they're just like, "Well, no, they're pretty big."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so I'm getting ready to. I'm just deciding to. I'm gonna eat healthy first, and I'm gonna see what happens. Well, strangely enough, during my cycle, all of a sudden I started bleeding out of my belly button. I
Mm.
didn't know that was a thing,
Yeah.
so that kind of freaked me out a little bit. And I was having pelvic pain around my belly button every time I had a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the emergency room. They didn't know what that was. They said I had fibroids. I knew that. Um, So I went to a specialist that, treated hernias. So turns out, long story short, I had a hernia as a result from the fibroids.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had PCOS. The
Mm.
bleeding in my belly button was PCOS. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not PCOS, endometriosis.
Oh, okay.
So I did not have PCOS. I had endometriosis. So bleeding in your belly button means you have endometriosis. And I also had a hernia from the large fibroids that
Mhm.
was growing in my uterus.
So, question: when you went to these numbers, it sounded like you went to a number of doctors. When you walked away, did you feel like you walked away with enough information to know how to handle this and what the next steps could be, or do you feel like it was you putting puzzle pieces together?
Um, Putting puzzle pieces
'Cause
together,
I feel like
and
that's the case a lot.
yeah, and talking to people that they always say, like my mom, her first thing is go to the doctor, go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
My sister, go to the doctor, get checked out. So I went, and of course, the doctors, they said that no, they told me what it was, that you have endometriosis, and I wanted the bleeding to stop in my
Mhm.
belly button because that was scary for me.
Right.
So I just like, you know what? Let me just go get it all done all at once. I do want children.
Mm-hmm.
I do have the desire. I just want one.
Yeah.
Let me get one. If I get two, great, but that's it. I don't want no more than two. So I decided, you know what? Let me just go to the doctor because I don't want to continue to bleed once a month out of my belly button. That's
Mhm.
just weird. And so I got the myomectomy, got the hernia fixed, and they cut off my belly button. Period.
Mhm.
So I got cosmetic surgery done. So I have a belly button now, but they created one for me.
Mm.
So come to find out, come out of surgery, they did say that I was supposed to be in the hospital for 1 day. Ended up staying there for 2 days because
Mhm.
that's how
It was a lot.
it was a lot.
Mhm.
I was weak. I was in a lot of pain. I got sick because of the anesthesia. The anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you can get sick from anesthesia. That was new to me. And it was a lot. It was swollen. But I was determined. I started walking. But I took it very, very slow, and you know how people say you can have postpartum depression from having babies. You can
Mhm.
have post surgery depression too. And I
Mhm,
was
mhm.
kind of like, well, I didn't want that,
Yeah.
and I felt vulnerable. I felt violated in a way because I'm like, there could have been a different way.
Yeah.
And I found out that the doctor came and she said, well, we thought you had 4, but you actually had 29
29 what?
fibroids.
29 fibroids?
Mm-hmm.
It's possible to have that many
Mm-hmm.
or more? Wow. Well, so how did they not see these extra
Because the big ones that they thought I
covered
had
up? So it's just
4,
multiple sizes.
so the
of
big
them.
ones covered up the little ones. I have pictures, but I will not spare you. I'll spare y'all the pictures on social media. But yeah, they showed me how many, and it was like it just went down. They lined them up, and they was going like,
Wow.
and then it was like from big to small. Like
So after the surgery, how many did they remove? Did they remove all 29?
they removed all 29, and then they said that they left maybe 2, but they were very, very small
Why would they leave?
because it was too much.
Okay, well, we do have a doctor in the building, y'all. So we will ask him some questions. And before we go, Danje, to the break, I just want to know, like, after the surgery, how have you been, I guess, health-wise? How satisfied have you been with the surgery? Have you noticed a difference in anything since having that surgery?
Okay.
So when we come back on break, Danje will ask the questions. We do have Dr. Lippman here in the building with us. So he will, I'm sure he has comments to what he's hearing from Danje and even from my story as well. News and Talk WAOK, Voices in the Streets Unfiltered. If you guys are listening in and have any questions, it is Fibroid Awareness Month. July is Fibroid Awareness Month. Give us a call, 447261380, and we will be back.